So we got some Transformer toy news to talk about today. Technically, it's Transformer Thursday in Japan right now, even if it's, well, really early in the morning. They dropped a whole bunch of pre-orders as well as some brand new stock images of a ton of Transformer product. We finally got some nice updated stock images of Micronus Prime from our Age of the Primes line with the Apex armor, the Chimera Stone. It's looking really, really good. As well as the Voyager class Alpha Trion. We now see some nice photos of the Quill and the Covenant of Primus. I am so excited about these figure releases. But also, the big takeaway from this is we got some new updates on other information. Number one, the ever-coveted Missing Link Convoy is going to be getting a reissue. Huge demand for that one. The main version, not the anime one, the one that comes with the trailer, the toy edition. And kudos to Takara-Tomy for not raising the MSRP on it from last year. It is still going to be 17,380 yen, so about, as of this recording, about $120 USD. So I remember at, I think it was 2 TF cons ago or 3 TF cons ago, they were just sold out everywhere. Like you couldn't find it. So very cool that they're doing a reissue for it. Much in demand for that one. Very cool figure. And another update to what we talked about yesterday, the Basara Prime, the Macross 7 Transformers Synergen X crossover. We now have a price. We now have a release date. So the Basara Prime is going to be 17,920 yen. So about 125 USD pretty much. And the ship out date right now, according to Amazon, is going to be between March 31st and April 3rd. So just a little 3-day window, 2026 next year, as promised from what we saw at the Shizuoka Toy Convention. So very, very cool. A whole bunch of other great images, too, of stuff we've seen. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on more when we learn about it here in the Transformer world on the Transformer Slag podcast. Another one to talk about today is that of the tariff newses and all that was going on. So CNN News updated recently that the United States government has agreed to a 20% tariff instead of 40% for Vietnam. Now, this is important because a majority of the lion's share of Hasbro products are made in Vietnam, and a majority of Transformer products, about 99.9% of them, are made in Vietnam. So they're going from the 40% tariff that was originally stated to now 20%. Now, keep in mind, originally, prior to all this tariff drama and everything like that, there always was tariffs for importing goods, especially from big companies. It just usually, especially in the case of Hasbro with toys, was between 10 and 15%. Now we're kind of back to something that's close to that with a small bump. It's now 20 instead of 10 to 15, but it's not a major one like 40% or even the originally planned like 120 and some of the craziness that we were hearing before. So this is now what they've agreed on. The trade-off that what I've read here is, and this could be pretty interesting in terms of business for Hasbro and other countries, the trade-off is in return, Vietnam will do something that has never been done before. They will give the United States total access to their markets for trade. In other words, it'll be an open market for the United States. They will be able to bring in goods from the United States to Vietnam with zero tariffs. So there's also opportunities here for Hasbro to now come into a market and make some money too, as well as other toy companies. So even though there might only be like a 10 to 5% bump with the tariffs on the receiving of goods, the potential for market profit in other regions, specifically one that has now zero tariffs for exporting, leads to a lot of opportunities there. That's all I'm going to take from that, from the business side of it. Now that settles the tariff drama a little bit, but the bigger question I have is, now that the tariff drama is more or less taken care of, will Hasbro now reduce their prices back to somewhat of a normalcy before we had the tariffs that they were using as a reason for it? Will Hasbro hire back the employees that they also cut off due to the tariffs? Actions speak louder than words, and we shall see what happens with that. Sometimes it's a song and dance, but it's not always the show that you think you're watching. So we will see what pops with that one too. This is just something that just broke recently. Probably we'll get more information and a deeper understanding of what's going on when we do the Saturday night live stream in the next couple of days. But it is something that I could consider at least a small victory for the time being, but we'll see what the long-term ramifications will be for this when this is all said and done. Again, otherwise, thank you again for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast and keeping you educated, entertained, and informed on our beautiful plastic robot hobby. And as always, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you in the near future.